Hello gamers and welcome to another YouTube video. With the new battle pass being recently introduced, I think it's well and truly time that we take a look at the new tanks and give our opinion on it to let you know if you should be heading towards this one. Alright, let's get in it. The 265T, I think we best compare it to tanks that play in a similar way as it, aka for example the 2A3 and the Object 42. Now, when we look at the average damage, you can already see that the Object 265T is going to be winning in that department with 390 alpha on a medium tank. That can definitely count. Standard ammo, it's only beaten by the 432. Then, however, if we, of course, change it to heat, and we change every single one of those to heat, then we are going to be seeing a slightly different story, of course, where the 430 beats out the 283 and the 265. DPM, it gets beaten by both the 283 and the 430. But again, note, alpha is king in World of Tanks. So having better alpha on top of having a magazine will mean that you very much negate any DPM advantage that you may be seeing. Angel clip is 3 seconds, so that's not the fastest, not the slowest either. Aiming time is also the worst. Dispersion, it's the worst yet again. Higher module damage, of course. And in return to that, of course, it has a higher caliber, worse velocity on the heat as well. So there's all that coming into account. But on the HP, the 265T has better for it as well. So all in all, you can see that this tank does win out on armor, wins out on alpha as well against its like respective counterparts. It doesn't win on top speed either, but of course this tank has the added benefit that it is this auto reloader or auto loader. I'm not sure you would call it auto reloader, in which you have the thing that is possibility of mounting a turbo because you don't need a rammer. You know, so there is that. I think that's enough in the statistics though. Camo, it's definitely way worse than the 283 and the 432. I know that this is a heavy tank, so I probably made a mistake there saying it's a medium tank, but it would be mostly comparable to tanks that really roughly look the same and play the same. Even though they are medium tanks and a heavy tank, they play exactly the same. So let's get in the review itself. When we look at the armor model really quickly, you can see that in side scrape, this tank has actually a pretty good armor, as well as the cupola. That's mainly the weakest part, and you can side scrape pretty well with this. You still want to be pretty tight, and then there's of course that position there, which is also not bettable. So in terms of pure side scrape, this tank does have a lot of good angles that it can use where you want to bait on this. I mean, 375. Cupolas do stick out still, but purely side scraping, this will not be a bad tank whatsoever. Alright, battle number 1. So we get a highway. We're going to be gaming out here. I'm going to be trying to tell you even more what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. But believe it or not, there's not always that much going on in my head. You know, it's kind of empty. But anyways, when we look at it, let's quickly go over it. Sniping, 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 sniping. Potentially sniping, fighting, sniping, fighting, potentially fighting, fighting, fighting. And then we look at our lineup real quick because you want to analyze that as well and compare what you have that they don't. Well, we have a Conway that could be fighting and we have a Gonki that could be fighting as well. On top of it, we have 2 more Brawly mediums, but 1 less Brawly medium here. 2 M103 and 265T should beat those 2, especially because the 257 is not very good tank altogether. So keeping that into account altogether. We could always pressure the city early, however I find that to be a mistake most of the time. The reason why is very simple. You can get overrun if they do end up sending more things than you imagine towards that part of the city, but that doesn't usually tend to happen, but it is something you have to be careful of. The best position, in my opinion, is starting early in between the building there to shoot somebody crossing over, assess the situation, and potentially pushing across when the time is clear, of course. So, taking that into consideration, we always do that. To be honest, it's just the best opening play, in my opinion. It's the one that just results you into the best possible gameplay. You just knock this over, you side scrape here, and then you watch. There's something that can knock over there, which will give you an early warning if they're actually trying to get around the corner. I don't know what it is. I think it's some fence or something that was a bad shot, but it is what it is. That was my bad altogether. But I have a Lorraine watching there. The 257 may come back to fight. You gotta watch the minimap. You see your teammate. You see your teammate on the 0 line. He will spot early if that guy at the corner tries to peek. That's another early warning system there. And because this is this style of auto loader, auto reloader, whatever, you always want to be shooting your shots. You don't want to be holding it because your reload, your best possible reload is on the last shell. Wow, dispersion. Wow. Wow. I would take that shot any day of the week. Honestly. That's most likely Amarak, because the Amarak is located in the frontal plate of the 257. He comes back out, he gives us a shot. We need to watch if we're past like the 10-second marker for the shot, we want to reload it, because that's the same thing as loading our first shell. So we just maximize here. Right, we don't care about loading the third shot, but we do want to load the second shot to maximize our DPM. We give one. We don't wait for the third one. We're going to kill him as well. Pick him up. My teammates are going very aggressive. You want to, of course, go aggressive too, but you also want to get the most amount of damage out of this situation. The T-32 will not live long enough for that though, so I think you don't care here and you just shoot, but it will be shooting 257. You cannot guarantee that he's going to live long enough, so you shoot him anyways and you kill him, because you don't want to gamble. Now, they have 3 TDs left, but 4 unspotted tanks. They have 1-1-2 line. Probably there's a bunch of them sitting in front of you. They don't really have anything that can spot anymore, but you still want to let somebody else go first. You can easily die on the driving down, but once your teammates go, you can follow up behind them. You want to stay in the speed. With 1.6 HP, you could risk it though to drive down, but still, it's really not hard to die on this approach down if you get spotted. The squad that gets spotted down is behind a building. We spot the laugh. We wait for the last shot here. We give a shot there. We will give one more. We finish. It does not matter. We finish this quota as well. Or we miss him. And you see my HP dropping rather quickly. And it's like I said, even though you have a lot of your HP, it's very easy to die on a position like this when driving down. I can tell you so far that this gun feels very bah, to be honest. Like, bleh. Like sure it has 3 shots, but man, it did not feel very good. Like if you're watching this, let me know what you think, because like this didn't really feel very good gun wise. I could have easily hit, or should have easily even hit the 257 once or twice or more. So getting a little bit scammed out. The good thing is we are relatively quick, so maybe we'll get in position to do a little bit more damage. But this should have been by all means a 4K battle in my opinion. The fact that it isn't is just scam ass. Prototipo. Indian is gonna keep driving, so we keep driving as well. We're min-maxing here, shoot on the move. Centurion peeking. You can aim this quite a while. You shoot at the max possible hitting percentage. At some point he starts hiding his hull behind the ridge, so you start losing percentage of like, what are the possibilities of you hitting? You try and take it at the highest possibility. 4.4, not bad. Not bad whatsoever. It's a good battle. We take that. I mean, could have been 5, but relatively good still. Definitely we're going to be top of the board with this. And, okay, yeah. Interestingly enough, we do get some decent result out of this. I mean, 4K is not decent on tier 9 is very good. Top of the board, top in XP. Making some credits still. All not too bad. Alright, battle number 2. We get a Pearl River. It's not an encounter, it's a regular battle. We gotta watch out for their hold on tanks because they have a bunch of them. We do have as well, but from this side, I would urge you to always pay very, very good attention to how many people you have going towards the right side in the beginning of the game. If you feel like you don't have enough, then just simply do not commit and go middle instead. The reason why is because this side is a lot worse to fight the initial engagement on the south part of the map, because they get to the hold on here, they get to the hold on the top, they get to really every hold on before you're even close to it. So take that into consideration when you are playing and make your decisions accordingly to that. Which is why it's not always the best to be the first one coming around the corner here, because The first one around the corner is also usually the first one that gets shot. So, you know, hopefully he shoots the SU, because he's the easiest target, but that's kind of the hold down we were talking about, and what can happen in this position. We are going to pressure this because we have heat, and it's a Swedish TD, it doesn't really withstand this whatsoever. And we got to be careful though, the way how we approach this. Got this gun, guys. And when it's 300 millimeters of pen, we definitely have to be careful about how we fight anything. I'm gonna go towards the lower side. And yeah, backwards turrets have, of course, their own problems. You know, such as how do you pick a corner properly with a turret that's all the way in the back? It's a good question. You normally don't. I just kind of peek at brute force. I just want to do my clip here without getting blasted. Right, guys. Go back. Go back. I am not pushing out the ISM because of you being a cunt. What's wrong with this phase, bro? I understand he wants to throw his life away, but like... there's no way to be like this. And since we have crossed the boundary now... I want to keep my last shot, or reload the last shot here as well. What a terrible shot by me. Okay, fire this double. What? I mean, the phase and the ISM are still having a little duel. We are getting owned here on this side. And yeah, the fact that I threw away basically a whole clip for no damage is gonna cost me, because I could have got 3k out of this. Instead I'm gonna get, I'm lucky, 2k, to be honest. Unless I got some majorly big players in me, which I don't know if I do. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Contender gives me 2. One more to him. Don't worry, I don't know where I'm going either. Yet. I think personally I'm gonna stop at this mount here if I can. And play off of that point on. If I make this, of course. Wow, bro. Again, it was a very disappointing performance. I will leave this battle in. Our last ditch play... With better, I don't understand how I bounced so low, except for maybe lazy aim. With a bit better luck or aim, we still would almost get 4k. We can blame the aim though, but the last play was a cool one. Do not worry, I have done my duty and reported the phase 1 for his behavior in this battle. So we do get top damage. There wasn't really much else to do in this for us. Sadly, but we tried our best. It's just those few shots against the OHO that really ruined our battle. Alright, battle number 3 here. Tier 8, 9 battle again. Sadly enough, we're gonna start off by loading the HE shot and then maybe get a shot in the crossing. We might get one if we're a bit lucky, but we'll see. This is the issue with this kind of tank though, because, you know, we're not going to be shooting a second HE shot on the crossing, so we're kind of wasting our reload. This is why it would be nice on tanks like these to be able to switch what ammo gets loaded at what point. It would be very, very neat. But of course, you know, playing this tank, it just reminds me of playing every other tank with a backwards turret almost. It's not very fun, to be honest. I am personally very much not an enjoyer of the backwards turret gameplay, because of the way that it's like has so many drawbacks and only very little upsides, in my opinion. I don't even know why I'm attempting that. I'm hoping that, you know, he does something less intelligent. But the odds of this are pretty low. I can't really push up in the city either from what I see, so I don't really want to. This is never hitting. I should stop wasting my time with it. The biggest issue that there's too many of them there for me to push across the middle, which otherwise I would potentially do. He's stock right away. Give him 2 shots though, we'll take those. Good stuff. My teammates in the meantime are pushing up the city though. Which means that it's my moment to go there as well. Let's go push up in the city. I would like to go for the T-54 first, I think. Also, fuel tanks always seem to be an issue on tanks like this. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but like, all of these type of tanks that I've ever played seem to just have like issues with fuel tanks altogether. 2A3, and the PK as well, you know, the heavy, 432, 705A. It's always like the story that the fuel tanks are weak. We can't YOLO in though, that's a bit of a downside here. I would love to be able to YOLO in, but I cannot. I'm waiting for the T10 to push up. I should repair these, yeah. It's a bit annoying the way that these reloads work though. I have one more. I don't think he intended to do that, but you know, good on him. We're starting to not really win this anymore. I never expected to see the T10 peek that sideways. They're not really gonna flying cross, but I would like to wait now for having more shells in the chamber before I unleash my plan. You're gonna be really careful from this though, because you know that there's a Skoda there. Oh, okay, that's also not good. Okay, so that's the T-54. We both bounced that shot. I'm gonna go pressure the Type 68 now. Get with my TS-54. Okay, so the Type 68 fired. Let me through, please. Let me through. Let me through. Thank you. I mean, it didn't really let me through, but I can pretend he did. Okay, fully reloading now. I'm going to be switching to heat. This squad is peeking. Come on, buddy. Okay, nice. For a Tipo pushing forward. I'm going to take one more from Type 68, I guess. Or not. For a Tipo peeking. For a Tipo is basically fully reloading. Keeping that into consideration on what I decide to do. He's going to pull inside before I peek. So we do not unleash our final play. We just chill here. The Prototipo is running away though. Maybe. No way. But maybe I could side scrape at least the guys that are behind him. Give him a shot. Our intro clip is basically the same, so just trading it out is okay for me at this stage of the battle. There's not that much HP left on the enemy team, and I feel like I gotta try and do the damage I can when I can do it. This third moves pretty slow, by the way. One misses, sadly. Prototypo gives us one more shot, but it's okay. We needed to go safe anyways. Good sub at a TS-54. Wargaming's amazing gun bug coming into action. Okay, he was looking down, not up. Very cool. I love that so much. Makes me so happy. I'm gonna be ready for the Prototypo to push us, but I don't think he will. I'm surprised he's not dead yet. Like, where did the Prototypo go? Did he run away? Oh, he's still there. They just missed him altogether. Okay, we should be able to kill him. Find the kill on him. Nothing else inside of the factory. We know that... Okay, the squad was inside the factory. I'm sick of my point. We know that the left is also in front of him there. And so is there 130 apparently. Rubble pile is in the way. Get a nice shot and die, and it's all down to the rubble pile being in the way. It's a good battle, nonetheless, though. In this regard, we got another 4K point 8K battle And not a bad result whatsoever, to be honest. And a quick look at it as well with this 4.8k scoreline. We do not come first. Actually, the TS54 does the net result, and that gives us an average of almost 4k over these 3 battles. Honestly, it wasn't bad, but I don't like this type of tank as a conclusion. Why? Because backwards turrets have this massive disadvantage that they're very uncomfortable to play in many positions and are only really working when they're in side scrape. As always, gamers, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys all in the very next one. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. See you next time. Peace.